Things have been quite strange in the story of Tophiachu recently. A lot of people have been wondering where she's at, what's been going on since the shooting took place, and honestly, she has answered all those questions and then some for people on her live streams. And yes, she has already returned to live streaming despite saying that the trauma was far too much for her to even go out and get a job. Tofia is posting videos like the ones you see on screen here now where she's all dolled up and she's kind of just, happy, I guess. Everything's been going good for her, I assume. You can't look at a video like this and just take away anything else, but man, she's got a big old smile on her face and she must be living life right now. But then you actually sit down to listen to some of these live streams she's doing and she is right back to where she originally was. She'll post videos like this where she's clearly thirst trapping. She's trying to get a guy. I don't know who it is, but it's that one guy on her For You page. Tofia is trying to find a man. She's trying to find him quick. But again, as I mentioned, when you listen to the streams, it's a completely different story. She's just complaining like she usually does and pointing the fingers at everybody else she can to blame them for why her life is so shitty. Today's video, more than anything, you're going to see that with clothing companies. See, Tofia is upset that companies are not offering these plus sizes anything above like 3X because for her, she apparently needs that. When you see pictures of Tofia sometimes, I wonder, the 3X may be normal, but maybe she wants something a little more comfortable. Who knows? It's not my place to question that, but it is my place to wonder why you are talking down on all these companies so greatly when it's like if you really wanted something like this, you could get it custom made. But that is where the problem lies, my friends, because Tofia does not want to buy this. She does not want to get anything custom made. She doesn't want to have to pay extra. She doesn't want to have to do anything. You know what she wants? She wants a free sample. She thinks that because the TikTok shop sometimes offers free samples on clothing and it only comes in small, which I assume is because it's only parents getting it for their kids. Tofia's like, what the fuck? What do you mean it's only in small or medium? I need a 5X. That's her genuine logic. It's, hey, I need a free sample too. 5X free sample. And they're like, well, we don't do that. And she's like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? How dare you? How dare you say that? So not only are you going to hear a lot about that, but I'll try to brush you up on what's going on with Tofia's story, because as of right now, she's living at some shelter and her mother's there with her. However, Marie's family, Mamachu, her family wants to help her out, but Tofia keeps getting in the way and saying no. No, I don't trust you people. I don't like you people, so you're not going to help her. We don't even know Mamachu's opinion on this. We just know that the only person who can get in contact with Mamachu is Tofia, and her own family can't even talk to her because Tofia is refusing access. Her own uncle is making TikTok's accounts saying that this is messed up, Tofia shouldn't be just withholding us from talking to our own family member, but she refuses. This is how Tofia chooses to operate. If she feels that they've been slighted by these people, it doesn't matter if they're trying to give out a helping hand to maybe their sister or maybe their aunt. To other people, Mamachu is somebody in their life, but to Tofia, it's nope. She's my mom and I'm making the decisions. Nobody gets to talk to her. Nobody gets to help out except for what Tofia thinks is right. And when you're giving that decision making to a woman who has basically now proven that she's going to scam that GoFundMe money that's meant for her brother's funeral and also won't even get a job to help her family out, when you're giving her that power to determine what's right and what's wrong, she's always going to choose the wrong option. She just absolutely refuses to leave the internet, ladies and gentlemen, something her family wishes that she would do. But if you want to stay on the internet and you want to stay safe while doing it, then let me take a minute to tell you about today's sponsor. The sponsor of today's video is Aura. Do you ever wonder how scammers get your phone number or why your inbox is often flooded with spam? Well, that's because there are companies called data brokers who will sell your data to basically anybody they want to, and they don't need your consent to do it. These companies make billions doing this, and while they do have to remove your info if you ask them to, they make it very confusing and incredibly hard for anybody to do. That's why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to all my friends and family. They do the hard part for you, automatically removing your info from these sites and keeping it off. But Aura is so much more than that. You'll get alerts if your info is found on the dark web and real-time fraud alerts for your credit and banking. A secure VPN, antivirus, a password manager, and so much more, all with US-based support if you ever have a problem in real time. It doesn't feel right that these companies are ripping me, you, and basically everyone else off on the internet, and it feels really good to know you got someone like Aura in your corner willing to do all the hard work for you and get it all off of there. Full-on internet lumberjack style, man, cutting it down. And if you go to my link right now, aura.com/Smokeymcc, you'll get 14 days free, and in that time, you'll get to see all the places that your data is being exposed. Thank you again to the legends over at Aura for sponsoring today's video, and now let's see what's going on with Big Toph. So in the first clip we're about to look at here, Tofia basically flat out says she is going to sue people with the newfound money she's getting. Now, what is this money? Where is it coming from? I don't know. Because she says that the GoFundMe money will be used for her brother's funeral. And if any people get involved, like the Reddit is, they'll be sued for defamation. Or as Tofia says, defamation. Which could be a different thing, I don't know. But she assumes that all this money, I guess, from the GoFundMe or all the money she's getting from Cash App, despite it saying, like, from people, yo, use this for the funeral, in her mind, it's like, no. Like, what? Like, no, fuck that. I am getting a lawyer. And she'll flat out say that here. And she keeps going on and saying that people are slandering her and people are dragging her name through the mud. But when you see clips like this, it's really hard to think anything else than, man, she's viewing this as just an opportunity to clear her name. And I've said it before, people saying that she's spending the GoFundMe money already, that's not true. She doesn't even have her hands on it yet. That money is still sitting there in limbo, and it's still to this day dropping in massive quantities. At one point it was at $7.7 thousand. It's now below $7,000. And there may be a reason for all that, which we'll get to later, but let's just hear Tofia threaten to sue all the trolls first.
I need body wash. I need the necessities. I can't be walking around without that stuff. And then to just like film someone and they say, oh, they're using GoFundMe money. First of all, you don't have access to the GoFundMe. Second of all, you keep running your mouth about that and you could get sued for defamation. Even the Discord backtracked and said they were not insinuating that I was taking money from GoFundMe. Okay, why are you running scared now that I said I was gonna sue you? Even the Reddit, sorry, not Discord, but the Reddit is running so scared at the fact that I said I was gonna sue them because they're telling people that I'm taking money from GoFundMe and they don't have proof except the video of me shopping, saying like, oh, well, she's shopping, so she must be spending GoFundMe money. Unless you have receipted proof that I pulled money out of GoFundMe, you can't say anything. Now all of a sudden they're saying that they never said that, which, yeah, you already pushed this narrative. And if my brother does not get buried with this GoFundMe money, I'm suing you, and I'm still suing you anyways because you lied. And then now you tried to backtrack. No, the damage is already done. You cannot go online and literally say, well, she's using the GoFundMe money, and then you have no proof, and then you're trying to fix it. No, too late. I've already got screenshots and everything I need for the lawyer. Have a nice one. And when all your money is garnished and it has to go to me and you can't pay your bills and then you become homeless, that's not my fault. You shouldn't be running around lying on people. Did people not learn from when Jay-Z sued that lady? Did people not learn when Cardi B sued that lady for millions of dollars? Bro, you think that it's just some joke. I got the funds to literally sue people now, to take legal action. My brother is not being buried. Jesus Christ, like, you think I'm stupid? I'm not stupid anymore. You want to prevent my brother from being buried? Go ahead. I'll prevent you from having a place to live. I'll make sure you can't afford a place to live. Okay? And when you go to work, your money's gonna go to me. So I would suggest that you leave people alone before you work for nothing.
So apparently, according to Toph, come hell or high water, people are getting sued. If her brother doesn't get buried, you're getting sued. Even if he does get buried, you're still getting sued. Why? Because she has the funds to do that now, and she has all the proof to prove it. And she tries to equate herself with Jay-Z and Cardi B, people who had unlimited wealth at their disposal to sue people. Your $7,000 is not going to get you very far in this venture, Tofia. But you continuing to blame people for your brother not being buried is absolute bullshit, because you yourself are the reason this is not happening. All the funds you've been given already, you've been spending on bullshit. You keep saying that people have pictures of you in public, and yeah, they do, because you're being spotted out every day with new bags of shit. But honestly, you know what? I won't blame her for that. everyone needs to go to the store sometimes and pick up stuff they need, so say that's not the case, right? And Tofia's buying all the necessities and she's doing everything she needs to do with the money, then yeah, I guess it is the troll's fault, right, for why her brother isn't buried? Or is it because of something else? Because I want to take you guys back a few weeks to Tofia's first live stream returning to the internet. And in this stream, she's like, guys, I'm not a scammer, all you people accusing me of that, you're wrong and I'm gonna sue you. And she talks about the GoFundMe again, and says how she's gonna use that money to pay for her brother's funeral. However, the government has apparently already given her money for her brother's funeral. And the chat is kind of like confused about this, but you know who else is confused about it? A woman staying with her at the shelter who is next to Tofia while she's recording this. So the woman decides to ask Tofia a question about it. And within like maybe 10-20 seconds, Tofia looks down at the screen and mutes it, because she is not about to be questioned in front of people over her possibly scamming with this GoFundMe she doesn't even need, because the funeral's apparently already done and paid for.
If I have proof I didn't scam people, and I have proof where the money came from, because the family members that gave me the money will speak, and I have receipts for everything. I mean, unless you want to lose your paycheck. Like, I don't understand. People do not learn. Jay-Z is literally suing someone for defamation. I literally have the funds to sue people. If I talk to whoever helped me, because I have funds for my therapy, I can talk to them and say, hey, can I use that money for a lawyer?
I'm sorry, what kind of logic is that? You said yourself you need this therapist desperately because you've been going through so much trauma after the shooting, and people understood that. And now you're like, I don't give a shit. If I can sue people rather than going to therapy, I don't need it. I don't want to sound like I'm just some sick prick right here, ladies and gentlemen, but I just need to point out how Tofia has said that the trauma she's been facing makes her not want to get a job, makes her not be able to do anything. And yes, she has said before that the trauma that she faces on a day-to-day basis isn't about the shooting. It's about how people don't, like, take her seriously and how the police don't take her seriously, and that's what's keeping her from getting a job in some weird convoluted explanation she once gave. But she is out here sitting on the street with her back turned to it and having no problem just live streaming, doing right what she was doing before the shooting, and it seems like she's right back to it. No trauma, no nothing. Maybe I'm just being inconsiderate. Maybe I'm not having empathy. But if I had that type of trauma, this would be the last thing I was doing. I would be inside. I would not be displaying my location for the entire world to see out in public. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm getting a little riled up here, but it makes no sense to me. I just think it's really messed up you are using the therapist to be like, I can't get a job, I'm going through too much, I'm even going to see a therapist right now. I need to. And then in the same breath, you're going to be like, yeah, well, hopefully I can just say, hey, I don't want to spend this money on you anymore, by the way. Can I use it to go talk to a lawyer? That's more important right now. My emotions, they're fine. Let me get like so-and-so on Reddit to stop calling me a fucking scammer. That's what's really important.
Is that money accessible for a lawyer? Boom. Get a lawyer, sue people, and, you know, I don't know what people are gonna learn to not run around and say things that are not true, because when you run around and say things that aren't true, like, I really had to fix my face, but anyways, like, yeah, I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. Like, to be running around and saying things and then think you're gonna get away with it, that's crazy. Because my mom was telling me, she was like, there's a lot of defamation cases on GoFundMe, and I was like, yeah, but people are not gonna donate for that, and, you know, I really need the legal help, so
she won't outright say it, but yes, she's planning on using some of the GoFundMe money to try to sue people. Tofia has said in the past few streams that GoFundMe, yeah, it may be titled Brother or Donald Slidell's funeral expenses. It may say in the first line of the bio that this is to go towards his funeral, but in a few sentences down, it does say, and also to help his mom and his sister get back on their feet. And that little line right there is what she's going to use to take that money and put it right right in her own pocket. When people say that she's a scammer and she's done stuff already, no, she hasn't. But she's proven time and time again that when she does inevitably get that money, she will. There are other ways that people have been sending her money, like through Cash App and all, telling her to put it towards the funeral, and she's been spending that, because, I mean, who knows what she's going to spend it on? It doesn't matter to her. Once it's in her pocket, that's how she feels. Doesn't matter what you asked her to spend it on. Don't ever tell her what to do. Like, it's not your choice. And that's what she's kind of just doing here, going, we have the funds for this lawyer, it's happening, deal with it. She's all smiles, basically, throughout it, and it's just kind of sick to know that this is what she's focusing on while her brother is still not in the ground. And, I already mentioned it, but apparently the government paid for it already, so what is holding things up? Well, finally this woman comes up and starts talking to Tofia, and we might get ourselves a bit of an answer.
You said no one should give me money. That's probably because you don't get money. That's why you're mad. I think most of the people that are mad that I got money is because they wouldn't get money if they needed it. Like, if they made a GoFundMe, it sounds like jealousy. I don't know why you're jealous over someone getting money for help for a funeral, for a burial, for someone that was murdered, but that's crazy. Wow.
And you got help for somebody who was murdered?
What?
You got help for somebody who was murdered?
Yeah, they did a GoFundMe for my brother.
Oh,
That's why I'm here.
Help from the state?
They only helped up to like 6,000.
Oh yeah, that's what happened with my husband.
Yeah, we were sleeping in our car and this guy jacked our car and,
Were you sleeping out of park?
yeah,
That was right by my house.
yeah, that was us.
Oh really? I'm so sorry. Your mom
He-
was with you?
Yeah, he brother in the head.
That's what my husband didn't get killed that way. He got killed at a gas station. He got in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the state only helped with $6,000. I had to pay $2,100 for his burial.
Yeah, for my brother, the burial is 4,120 on top of like 6,000 because that's for I don't know if it includes everything she said, including the headstone
Oh my.
where we're having him buried. So
You
yeah.
helped me with that, so but it was 4 years ago.
Yeah, but we're still waiting for the GoFundMe to be processed because people said I was scamming. My family gave me money after my brother's service and I went and got stuff. And I guess someone filmed me and said I was using the GoFundMe money. I don't have access to it. My brother's friend does. And so GoFundMe is, I don't know if they're looking into it. They're still looking into it. We sent them information, but it's not being processed.
Have you tried calling them?
My brother's friend is contacting them.
Oh. Yeah, see, you know what probably it is? I'm not going to lie to you. Once the state helps you and you get that $6,000 from them, you're not allowed to set a GoFundMe page.
Well, that's what she told me is that to make a GoFundMe, she was hired from the mayor. She was hired by the mayor.
You complete scammer. When she was questioned on this, she floundered real hard, saying, oh, they told us to set one up. The person who was like formerly the mayor, whoever it was, nobody told you to do this, and now this all makes sense. Look at Tofia's face, too, while all this is going on. She muted it, and she is so annoyed right now that this is going on, that she has to now, talk about this. Let me try to lay everything out for y'all so we have a good picture of what is actually going on here regarding her brother's funeral and everything. Tofia has been saying it's the trolls' fault. They've been reporting the GoFundMe, saying that it's not being used for what it's supposed to, and apparently the trolls may have been right. Because, now listen here, Tofia already announced right there that she was given $6,000 from the state. She said the funeral is $4,200 on top of the other $6,000, which I think she just blurted that out because, well, she needed to try to save face. If that is true, though, then okay, you have now $4,000 from that GoFundMe to put into the $6,000 you already had, so that would leave you like $3,000. Nonetheless, the woman brings up, you're not supposed to do that. You are not supposed to make a GoFundMe once the government already gives you money. And that is Tofia's sign to mute real quick. Because you know what that tells me? They knew about this. They knew they probably weren't supposed to start a GoFundMe, so they asked Brother Chu's friend to do it, so they could do it in his name and bypass any legal ramifications for having it in her name. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but when I hear this and I see Tofia mute it directly afterwards because she's like, oh shit, this could make everything come crumbling down, and not to mention, everything's good with the GoFundMe apparently now, but a few weeks ago when this live stream happened, the GoFundMe was shut down. GoFundMe was, they were investigating it, saying we need to look at this, there's so many reports coming in, and eventually they put it back up there. So it's back, people can still donate to it, and nobody has, but a lot of people have rescinded donations, and it still sits in limbo. Nobody knows what's happening with this money, and I feel like Tofia herself knows the trouble she could be in if she takes it, so now it's just like a big what happens now thing. The dude who started it, Brother Chu's buddy Ryan, if that's even a real person, he must be really regretting this now, because nobody wants to see him give that money to Tofia, and I think he knows that full well, because he knows they probably already have the money for the funeral, and all this money is going to go to a bunch of bullshit for Tofia, whereas you hear right there, she probably told them, I have so much trauma, I need a therapist, and they were like, you know what, Tofia, we'll put this money forward, we'll get you a therapist, we'll get you guys somewhere to stay, and she's like, actually, no, just give me the money, I'll get us somewhere to stay, and just trust me, alright? Just give me the money. She's proving with each passing day that everything people are saying online about her is right. She keeps fighting this tooth and nail and going, no, everyone says I'm a scammer and I'm not. And it's like, dude, when you're proving this shit, you're now muting the mic when this woman is asking you valid questions that everybody in your stream would want to hear. And you might go, oh, it's her privacy, she doesn't have to show it. Then don't live stream out in fucking public. Like, don't be putting your information out there to where anyone walking by can see it. The woman comes by and talks about it. You can talk about everything else when it comes to this situation, but you can't talk about the stuff people actually need to know, such as where this money is going. Yeah, that's some bullshit, and she knew what she was doing here. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you know, when she wasn't complaining about trolls and lying to everyone's face, she was complaining about 5X clothing sizes and how people aren't offering like plus sizes that she needs. Now, she'll say it somewhere in these videos, but her whole moral here is if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. But then she's gonna try to verbally like eviscerate these companies, rip them to shreds, and try to be like nobody should promote them because they don't sell what I like. Basically, her whole mindset is the designs they give for plus-size clothing is grandma clothing, and I don't want to wear grandma clothing. So it's like, fix it. Do you guys fix it? Like, I'm inconvenienced, so every clothing company must now fix what they do. Maybe she has a point here. I don't know. It's not like on my island, they make one-sized Hawaiian shirt, and it's like a 9X, and we all wear it. And Toph, this just seems like a you problem.
I am not going to be sitting here, and this is something that I want to talk about. I'm so tired of the sunflower designs for bigger people. Can we get cuter designs other than sunflowers? I get it. There was a girl on my For You page promoting a sunflower swimsuit, and she was like, oh, it's cute. I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of that design. Like, smaller sizes get cuter designs, and we get ugly designs like touristy designs or designs that your grandmother would wear. Okay, if your grandmother would wear the clothes, what makes you think that plus size people will wear clothes that are like for grandmothers?
Okay, hey now, I actually think my grandmother looks awesome wearing her like sunflower shirt or her bedazzled like shirts of Jesus or whatever, but it's way better than what you're wearing with your tattered sweatshirts or this makeup that's all over the place. Like, who are you to come at people's grandmoms? Like what did they ever do to you? Again, this is one of those, like, Tofia will go at everybody because she feels that people have gone against her for so long.
Who dress too big for their size, please. It's so annoying to literally sit here and say, you might be a problem if you have to tell someone that they need to start losing weight. You're the problem. Maybe you need to. And I want to talk about the plus sizes video because I want to reiterate this, and this is so annoying. I know a 3X is plus size, but if I'm promoting a brand and they only go up to a 3X, I'm not going to promote them unless they go past the 3X. There are people that wear bigger sizes than a 3X, and to say like, oh, if you need more than an XL, then it might be time for you to STFU or shut your BASS up, because I'm so sick and tired of people being fat phobic. We're in 2025. If someone has to wear larger than an XL, so what? To be sitting here telling someone that it might be a sign, you know what might be a sign? To keep your mouth closed and don't say anything at all. That's why a lot of these brands and companies are closing down, because they don't offer bigger plus sizes And they don't offer plus sizes that are not ugly, okay? We shouldn't have to be wearing ugly, frumpy stuff. Maybe you need to evaluate your life, and maybe that might be a sign for you to get off the internet. Because if you don't have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. My whole point being was, I literally went to go, and I found some cute stuff, and it only goes up to a 12. A lot of these TikTok shops only offer cute stuff up to a 12.
I love how she just tries to generalize and says that she feels bad for anyone trying to better themselves by losing weight. You know, she feels bad for you. You know, like what do you mean? Like, just because a couple trolls are mean to you in your comments doesn't mean you just put down anyone who goes to the gym, put down anyone who actually wants to, like, try to improve their life and shit. And that's fine that you don't want it, Tofia, but what do you think gives you the right to talk down to all these people like this? This is what this entire video was. It was her going, this is what I demand, and these companies should do it. That's why they're all closing down, because they don't offer this shit. And it's like, no. Now, look, I'm not some big, like, clothing designer company, savant. I don't know much about this shit, but I can't imagine a bunch of clothing companies are closing down for that reason alone. And the other thing there, she brings it up at the end, that TikTok shop items only go up to a 12, and she doesn't like that. And again, that's because she's only looking for TikTok shop items that offer free samples. I just feel like that needs to be known, because she's not saying all this stuff as a consumer. She's saying this as, well, I guess she is, but as somebody who wants to consume goods for free, somebody who wants to be given everything, and she wants to be given it how she wants it. It's like I titled that video a few months ago, beggars can't be choosers. Well, this is one begging chooser we're seeing right here. But of course, she still had a whole lot to say about clothing companies and their lack of plus size items. This was like a topic she was just ranting and raving about for a full 2 days straight. And then she was right back to bitching about the trolls again online. Now, I need to mention something I brought up in the beginning of the video, and it's where I want to close things here. Her family has been desperately trying to get in touch with her about her mother, because apparently after all the shit went down with the shooting and all that, Tofia got in touch with them to let them know what was going on, and they claimed that they were completely supportive and like, okay, how can we help? And then she ghosted them, because she was like, no, I'm gonna do it on my own terms. You guys don't get to know nothing. According to her family, they have been trying to look through every hospital to find Smokeymcc, but considering it was still an open investigation and Smokeymcc was the victim of the crime, they weren't just gonna willingly tell them where she was, and Tofia wasn't about to either. And I don't know why this is. Tofia seemingly has some bad blood with her family, and it's gone back a very long time. She brought up recently, and this is something I brought up in my last Tophiachu video, that her family apparently offered them a place to stay a while back, and Smokeymcc wanted to go, Brother Chu wanted to go, but guess who didn't? Tofia. And there's probably some family problems that happened there that they're not getting into, but I'll tell you what I think's going on right here. Her family has made it known before, and it's not just Smokeymcc and Brother Chu, it's all of them, that they hate this streaming shit and they want her offline. And the shelter she's in right now doesn't let her stream there either, that's why you see her streaming out on the streets. But I'm just going to assume one of the prerequisites for staying with that family was for her to get off the internet, get a real job, and stop all this shit. And that was just completely out of line in Tofia's mind. How dare you ask me to stop this? This is my career. This is going to be my launching pad to superstardom, and you people are not about to get in my way. As a matter of fact, today alone, Tofia uploaded a video where she was like, this is a job. You can't tell me, you know, it's like parents telling their kids singing's not a job. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's what you're doing to me. No, Tofia, everyone in your life can see that this is leading to nowhere but like a path of nothing but no job, having misery for the rest of your life, and you're the only one who can't see that because you still think there's some light at the end of this tunnel. And from anybody who can see your streams, see the shit you say to people and the shit they say back to you, it's clear you're just another lolcow who's gonna get shit for their entirety of the time on the internet, and I don't know why you think things are gonna change. Your family sure as shit knows they're not going to, but you refuse to listen to them. Jesus Christ, dude, you're a 31-year-old woman and you got your family treating you like a child and you're acting like one. Oh, by the way, 31 today. Happy birthday, Tofia. The day I'm recording this, June 6th, today is Tofia's 31st birthday. And according to her, she's going out clubbing tonight. So you might wonder, well, yeah, that's cool and all, but where the hell are you getting the funds to do that? And to that I say, Mind your own fucking business, chat. How dare you? How dare you question Tofia's spending, you know? She's gonna go out clubbing, she's gonna get some drinks, she's gonna get some shrimp cocktails or whatever else she thinks they have at the club, probably a club sandwich, and she's gonna have one hell of a birthday. Live it up, Big Toph. Live it up, you friggin' scammer. But that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That is that. Depending on when this video comes out, we may still be in the middle of Novine Week. Me and Kiwi have been streaming every single night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time over on Kiwi's channel, and I'll be honest with y'all, some of the worst leaks I've ever seen with some of the most deplorable shit from Nova Online dropped the other day, and it's just been horrible. So, I mean, all around, everyone we cover, the stories have been just going crazy, and it really is brutal to see because, you know, with all these people we cover, your Novas, your Tofias, your Jupiters, you gotta wonder, man, I hope there's still some good out there in the world, but I assure you, my friends, there is. You're just not going to find it in one of these videos with these people here. But tomorrow I'll have a new Nova video out for y'all, and I hope till then the rest of you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys for always sticking by and enjoying these videos. If you want to see more updates on this stuff as it comes out, follow me over on Twitter at Smokeymcc. As always, thank you again to the legends over at Aura for sponsoring today's video, and my friends, I am out of here. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one.